It's all good. Perfectly. Perfect. Yeah, we'll both be here. Thanks, Lexi. Okay. We're good till after the natties.
That was weird. One of the refs from the last game, I used to play like he refs some of my games.
Which one?
It was the one, you remember when that puck got stuck like in between the rest skates over there?
Yeah.
It was that one.
Is he old guys or one of the young guys? Old guy?
Old as hell. It's that guy. It's this one.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kendall Ice Arena. Tonight, AAU College Hockey and College Hockey South present a Division III matchup featuring visiting Florida State University Seminoles and your University of Miami Hurricanes. Let's meet the starting lineups first for
It's national anthems, your choice.
on the fence.
National anthems, your choice.
Junior from Tampa, Florida, number 15, Cooper Barno. On the fence, a junior from Tampa, Florida, number 74, Braxton Lucor.
Lucero.
At forward, a freshman from Victoria, Minnesota, number 11, Alexander Jensen. At forward, a junior from Boca Raton, Florida, number 86, Andrew Brenner. At forward, a freshman from Hanover, Massachusetts, number 97, Tyler Richards. In goal for the Seminoles, a senior from Richfield, Connecticut, number 35, Matthew Silliman. The Seminoles are
Silliman. Oh God, those jerseys are.
And now let's meet the starting lineup for your University of Miami Hurricanes. On the fence, a sophomore from New Canaan, Connecticut, the captain, number 68, Chris Michelini.
McLean's on a double.
Also on the fence, a junior from Bedford, New Hampshire, number 15, Owen Gupta. At forward, a sophomore from Yarmouth, Massachusetts, number 33, Jonathan Nuss. At forward, a freshman from Chicago, Illinois, number 23, Henry Skinner. At forward, a sophomore from New York, number 90, Louis Del
We've stuck around here at Kendall Ice Arena for Game 2 of our Friday doubleheader with the University of Miami and the University of Miami Hockey Network. The D2 side just took down the University of Tampa by a score of 2-1 in a hard-fought come-from-behind effort. Now the D3 side gets a chance to take on the Florida State Seminoles, who have started off strong. 8th in college hockey South with a record of 4-4-1 throughout their first 6 games, coming off of 3 consecutive wins for the Noles. Back-to-back wins with the Division III side of the Florida Gators, including a win against FIT a couple of weeks ago. Now they get a chance to play a 3-game road trip right here in Kendall. 2 games against the Miami's D3 squad, 1 game versus the D2 side on Sunday. Brian Lee and our entire broadcast crew, we welcome you back here once again in Kendall Ice Arena, where Miami will start things off. They're going to be in the green, going from right to left, with the Florida State Seminoles in the whites, going from left to right as we get things started here in Kendall once more. Ryan Lee, Connor Stein with you once again for the second game of our Friday doubleheader. Delayed puck drop as this was going to come back to the point. That one comes just wide as that one got zipped by Cooper Barno. Florida State unable to keep it in, so will just be dumped in deep by Jensen. Attempts to work it along the boards, goes to Richards. Behind the net of Hoffman, who makes starts in back-to-back games. Started the D2 game with a win, hopes to do the same with the D3 side, as Miami eventually gets it clear with Nas on the poke-up. Nas corrals, sends it towards Silliman, who punches it out. Now a chance for FSU to come in. Tyler Richards enters the freshover from Hanover, Massachusetts. He dumps it in and goes back to the bench for a change. Hoffman plays it out, stuck in some traffic, no one able to get it free. Kashikani tries to get it loose. He's doing double duty too. Side of the net, stuck on the side. Michael Nas corrals, can't get it out. Stuck in the skates, and eventually there goes Ricky Kashikani, who will skate it out towards center before he gets wrapped around by Brady Walsh. Skips over the stick of Ricky Kashikani, sends it in, glove down by Silliman, who will keep things going. FSU, as we mentioned, coming off of 3 consecutive wins, only 1 loss to FIT a couple of weeks ago. Man down behind the net of Hoffman, as stoppage will go in play after the man down behind the net makes its way back up. That was Ricky Kashikani, who was pummeled behind Hoffman's net. It was offside regardless.
Yeah, Hartung took a very hard hit. It was one of those things where you're chasing the puck and then your feet just go on under you and you just fly. Very tough hit.
Only 1 loss for Florida State. That was against FIT a couple of weeks ago, about 2 weeks, in their first game of their 2-head series against the Florida Institute of Technology. Now they have a chance to defend, with Miami attempting to go upward, as that was Gupta who was unable to get it up. Huge scramble in front of the Miami bench. They have to wait. They continue to make changes with the scramble in front of the Miami bench. Poked out by the Canes. Near side it goes. Sent along by Katz. He got set down by Hartung. Stretch pass attempted. Wanted to go for Siegerman, but couldn't corral. Hartung back again in his own end. Siegerman sends it across. He's got a man, Ethan Block. Block on a 2-on-1. Couldn't get the connection with Siegerman as that one gets skimmed across. Now is a chance for FSU to go in the direction with Johnny Rustenberger. Kicked away by Max Hoffman for his first save of the second of a doubleheader for him as well. An opportunity to push it upward for Michael Nas. Fluttered towards Silliman before it's disrupted by Braxton Lucero. Bank it in deep. Hoffman's gonna cover. And the physicality has not stopped between games, even though they are about 90% of a roster flip. The intensity is still very much there.
Yeah. 6:49 left, or 16:49 left to go. So far, Miami's been sloppy getting out of their own zone, not really able to break out completely well. See if that changes.
Back to the point, can't keep in, attempted by Lucero. Lucero backwards as Florida State go upward. To the point, Seminoles wind up, took a deflection, flutters over the net of Hoffman. Michelini got leveled as he gets some support from a couple of Canes as well.
There's an arm up. Miami will go on the penalty kill. Dude, that kind of happened like in the corner. Did you really see what happened there, Ryan?
It was a bit interesting. There were a couple of scraps, but at the same time, I can definitely say this is what's going to be expected for these two sides. We know from other sports, whether that be basketball or football, that the Noles and the Canes are without a doubt one of the best rivalries across the entire state of Florida in sports in general. So I would definitely expect it to be the same here as well.
Yeah, no, just that some of that rivalry getting pushed into this one. But once again, it'll be fun to see how this kind of transpires. I want to see Miami stay out of the box, though. I know they just took a penalty, but you cannot be doing that. It's even spilling over to the D3 game.
Dawson for a board, back for Brady Walsh. Seminoles on the power play for another 100. Goes off of Hoffman into the end boards. Florida State want to wrap around. Attempted cross off of a stick. Corralled by the Noles. Behind the net, it goes for Richards. Richards to the point, Chambray. Works it across. FSU, that one hits the outside of the frame. Still keep it in. Now it's a chase for Tyler Richards. Richards to the point, he's got Chambray again. Chambray pestered by Siegerman, but Chambray keeps it alive. To the point, Richards winds up, kicked by Hoffman, rebound loose, Newell will get it free and they score. On the power play, FSU gets the bury, they're up 1-0, just shy of 5 minutes into the first.
Let's see who that was. That's gonna be Leaner. Miami, this is from the last game, but Miami just sloppy on the penalty kill there, and they get caught in the back of this very talented power play for the Noles, and the Noles take an early 1-0 lead.
Only 4:21 into the game for Florida State to get on the board. So that was number 11, Alex Jensen, who got the first goal of the game. Also on the power play, a little bit of a repeat from the game that just concluded, but Matt Rocket works his way behind the net, not before the Noles take over. Blake Kakish can't win the race. Nate Koo will take over. So unassisted goal from Alex Jensen. That is going to be Jensen's team-leading 5th goal of the season. He was in a bit of a drought, had 4 goals in the first 4 games played, had 0 in the 2 following, and now he's back on the score sheet after a bit of a dry spell for the freshman from Victoria, Minnesota. We just passed the 5-minute mark here in Kendall, as Florida State look to get it out. Vincent Wood skates it along and out. Just past the 6-minute mark, Siegerman slaps it across. Went off of a skate, so couldn't get the pass completed. Now it's a chance in reversal for Sam Russell. Stripped from behind by Siegerman and out.
Great job by Siegerman.
Quick flub, Siegerman wanted to take over but couldn't corral, so it's a chance for FSU with Leo Christensen. Christensen pinged along the wall and it gets free off of the stick of Katz. Stuck in the blue line, and it's deep in the Miami end. Just a quick poke along for Michael Nas. $13.25 to go in the first period of play. FSU's offside, so Miami can recover. He's got Ricky Castricani behind the net, the sophomore from Pittsburgh. continues to make his way up ice with Siegerman on the dump in, past the red line, no icing. Hurricanes, desperate need for fresh legs. Bouncing puck, took a touch. That was Bremer who was able to prevent icing as Miami go back and forth with Gupta behind the net. Walsh in, Walsh from distance, easily kicked out by Hoffman. Up, not out, chance in front, blocked by Gupta. Gupta takes his man to the board, but evading the hit was Richards. Low slot, eventually out, Miami down the length, Silliman touches aside.
This almost feels like a Knowles power play, the amount of time that they've spent in the offensive zone.
Well, Owen Gupta wants to try to change those fortunes. Awkward bounce off the boards as Skinger gets poke check from behind. Scramble at the center circle, taken away by Jonathan Nas. He was out for quite a bit due to injury and eventually gets scooped up by the glove of Matt Silliman.
I mean, finally some offensive zone, maybe an draw for the Canes, but they've just had a poor time getting it out of their own ends. If they want to even this one up, they're going to have to do a lot better defensively.
Especially with 11:39 to go in the first period of play. They're going to want to continue building onward and upward. Michelini sends it upward. Interrupted by Cooper Barno. Kept in along the blue line. Swept across by Del Duco. Wanted to send in front. Del Duco was not ready for the reception. Makes its way back to center for Chris Michelini. He's the sophomore captain this D3 side. Sends upward. Jonathan Nash, drop pass. Skinger kicked away by Silliman. Del Duco keeps it in. In front, Skinger couldn't get the slap on and is sent down the length of the ice. Florida State will get docked for icing.
And that was a great drop back pass by Nos to Skinger, but they were not. Skinger just hit it off the pad of the FSU goaltender Silliman. Hey, just one shot closer to getting one in, but they got to work a lot harder than that if they're going to want to tie this one up.
Unlike the D2 squad, who was working with a single loss in a string of, who was working with a single win in a string of losses, this D3 side, they've been unbeaten in their last 3 straight. However, 2 of those unbeaten results were ties. That attempt there on the left-handed shot by James McGovern couldn't go through. Still fighting along the wall with 10.5 in the first. 1-0 for FSU after the initial goal on the power play by Alex Jensen, sent all the way down, icing this time against Miami.
Now what you do not want is an offensive draw for the Knowles, up 1 goal. Still a ton of time left though in this first period, 10:26. But what I really want to see here is a solid defensive breakout for the Canes here.
UM side, they've struggled to score goals at times on this D3 team, but that's going up against the D3 side of Florida State, who have the 4th fewest goals allowed, while with Miami, they have the 4th fewest goals scored. That one sent deep by Florida State into the top mesh and out of play as we are approaching halfway through the first period. And this isn't the same as what we saw a couple weeks ago against USF, where you had about maybe a third of the D3 roster crossing over. This time it's only 1 or 2 guys. However, one of those guys is your goalkeeper, Hoffman, as well, who has to look out because Florida State's back on it with Charlie Lakis. Lakis with Koo. They smash along the boards. Flutters into the slot. Eventually up and can't get out on the swing from Hartung. Matt Rocket works past his man, tries to get past 2. Hartung tries to jar it loose, cannot do so. Florida State back on the attack. Quick slap in by Kakish. Kept in the line by Katz, deep in the corner. Miami tip it up and out from Koo. Miami makes a change. Florida State will do the same. Send it in deep. Ricky Kashikani tries to go for the slide for Berman, and this will be held up by Hoffman, who will cover up.
Not a bad little sequence of play right there. Miami got the puck out, but now with that cover up by Hoffman, they'll have an offensive zone face-off for the Noles. Hoffman, we mentioned, though, played in both games, so I want to see how this game progresses and how he kind of dealing with back-to-back games.
Kept in by the Seminoles. Want to wrap it around. Michael Nas has it behind the net. Chips it up and out himself, and this will be a face-off deep in the Miami end. And this is something that we've seen from UM before, D2 or D3, when they get hemmed in their own zone off of what I can only refer to as unforced errors. That's what's really caused them trouble. Those unforced errors, getting pinned back and having to play defense for large stretches.
Yeah, any errors that you see in the defensive side, that's what this team has struggled with most of the year, just defensive errors, not being able to get out of the zone completely, but we kind of see that develop.
And especially with back-to-back opportunities. And keep in mind, this is a much later face-off than either of these two teams anticipated. It would have been pushed back initially because Tampa had transportation issues in game one of this doubleheader. Add on all the fights and scuffles, so on and so forth, delaying that Tampa game, which is why we didn't drop the puck till just shy of 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, now it's almost 11 o'clock. Talk about a long day for these players.
And they have to come back again tomorrow with the D2 side, dropping the puck at 3 p.m. with some of these guys doing double duty already. We saw this in the USF series 2 weeks ago. Some of these guys were going triple, quadruple. Who might be crazy enough to go quintuple, go all 5 games in 3 days? That's a question for another day. But we can't rule it out. We saw it 2 weeks ago against USF. We cannot rule out the possibility of 2, 3, 4, even 5 games for any one of these guys. Maybe multiple of them.
I think the Hurricanes head man is taking a little bit more of a different approach this series. I think we see a lot less crossover in this game, and I think he's just trying to form an actual team besides of a two-way program.
Right now, the only holdovers are the goaltender Hoffman, Ricky Kashakani, and Chris Michelini. There are only 3 holdovers in this weekend series. Last week, we had at least 5 guys go.
Brennan Stein is out there as well. He was in the D2 game.
4 then, part of my math. But 8:01 to go in the first period of play. 1 goal on the power play against FSU. This sounds very familiar of everything I was saying about 2.5 hours ago, where the University of Tampa, they got a 1-0 lead after the first period on the power play, but this time Miami dump it down, icing, it will come back. And this Miami Hurricane side, they've been in a bit of an upswing since they started their season with 3 consecutive losses. They've had 4 of 5 unbeaten, 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss within the span. And the 2-game series they just concluded at University of South Florida, that's going to be the final road games of the whole season for this D3 squad. Every single other game for this D3 side will be right here in Kendall. Now a time to springboard loose. Here goes Siegerman. Siegerman alone, chip from behind. Is this a penalty or a penalty shot? Puck touched by the Noles, whistle goes. Tripping call against Florida State.
Yeah, that's not going to be a penalty shot, but hey, the Hurricanes will definitely take that one. Now being up on the man advantage with 7:39 left to go. This is where a difference can be made, right? Some solid offensive pressure as Lucrio goes to the box.
Braxton Lucero goes into the box. He's got 2 for tripping. So this will be the first power play opportunity for the Miami Hurricanes. 5 power play goals for this D3 squad is the 3rd least in the 3rd division of college hockey south. Power play goals against for Florida State, it is the 4th fewest in Division 3. Slap it around, Del Duco to chase. He's got it jarred away from Chambray, but Chambray gets it up and out. A chance to enter. James McGovern along the corner. No one able to get it as Brandon Stein, another one of the guys doing double duty. He holds on for the next 1:25 of power play time for Miami. He's got Skinger with him. Back for Brandon Stein. Brandon Stein with a rip. Goes off of a stick into the corner, Jonathan Nas. Back for Michelini. Nas. Wants to center for Skinger, makes its way for Nas into the corner. Del Duco fights for it, stripped away by the Knowles, kept in by Brandon Stein, but not inside the blue line, but does maintain possession for the Canes.
Miami could catch Florida State on a change right here.
Brandon Stein elects to hold things up to allow his guys to get in position. Michelini has to reach, ring it around. Nas continues the flow for Skinger. Skinger back up top for Brandon Stein. Hits a body in front and cleared out by Andrew Bremer. Florida State wearing their military appreciation here on Veterans Day weekend with Miami in the all greens. Sent down again. Miami has to chase. 22 to go on the power play for UM. Brandon Stein. Backhand, Silliman, kicked away, Koo in the corner. Koo, stapled along the boards. Canes in support. Even strength, we return. And out from the Knowles as coming out of the box, it's an opportunity, but a great poke check from behind as Lakers couldn't get free. That was Kashikani. And Hoffman will cover up afterward as well. But a couple of nice defensive recoveries despite the potential break for the Knowles.
Yeah, Miami does a great job getting that puck away. Kashikani was the main person that disrupted that 1v1, but there was a little bit of a collision there, and it'll be an offensive zone faceoff.
Seminoles keep it in. Behind the net goes Kashikani. 5 1/4 in the first. Koo. Matt Rocket wants to go back to Koo, but the Knowles take it away. Spinorama shot. Hits a traffic in front. Still kept in play by Russenberger. Wide angle. Hoffman with a save. Second chance. Hoffman has to cover up with a scramble in front of the net. And with a couple guys down on the ice.
We don't want a similar situation to the U-Tampa series.
But nothing comes out of this one. But a great chance for FSU regardless.
Yeah, Florida State. Miami tried to clear this one out, but the Knowles were persistent on getting a shot on net, and they got a good quality opportunity. That was blocked initially there by Kashikani, but it was ultimately saved there by Hoffman. Good cover-up and no harm done.
So this will be a face-off to Hoffman's right as Miami get fresh legs on, down 1. Punched out. Ethan Block gets it out. Not quite. That hit a Knoll along the way. Flutters into the corner. Gupta slaps it along. In play was Ethan Katz. Gupta again, stapled along the walls. Siegerman. Katz. Chopping it down, Charlie Lakis. Stripped away by Asher Berman. Couple of freshmen going at it with Siegerman behind his back, sends it in deep. Block has Berman in support. Neither can retrieve. 4 minutes to go in the first period. FSU has had a large portion of the opportunities here in this first period. They'll try to get another one as they send it in deep. However, FSU gets some fresh legs out. Michael Nas. Berman. FSU ends. UM will change. Stuck in the skates. Collision. Siegerman sticks it in deep. Penalty coming up against FSU. Miami returns to the power play.
Another great opportunity for the Canes to capitalize. They get,
Looks like
that was my hill there.
tripping the signal from the official. So it's my hill for a trip. UM 0 for 1 on the power play so far. And this will be an opportunity for UM to potentially get this game level. Especially with this D3 side of UM. We talked about how these rosters are getting assembled, especially with 15 players on this D3 side in their first season in College Hockey South. But UM back on it once again. One of the veterans on the squad, Jonathan Nas. Captain Brandon Stein for Nas. Jonathan Nas works the wide angle. Michelini can't keep it in. Nas does so, but it's jarred loose. Brandon Stein has to chase back. A potential near disaster for Miami off of the turnover. Now they're back on the attack with the Noles pinched in their own end. Brandon Stein slaps it along for Del Duco. Del Duco sends it in deep. Skinger and Nas on the chase. Down it goes. As it was an attempt for a streaking Ryan Chambray. He's got Michelini all over him. Michelini and Chambray go at it. Chambray wins that battle. Keeps possession. Out towards center. Braxton Lucero, the junior from Tampa, sends it in, and Michelini will hang on with 52 to go on the power play for UM. And despite this being a UM power play, FSU's done a great job getting it down the ice any chance they got.
Yeah, Miami's D3 team has not really established a good power play, despite being a good.
Michelini in front, kicked away by Salome. No rebound there as that one fluttered off of Michelini's stick. It comes back to center for Brandon Stein. Half a minute to go on the power play. Michelini, he's got Koo with him. Poke check from behind by Lucero. Final 15 to go on the man advantage for Miami. Myhill for trip was the call. Makes its way back for Brandon Stein. And this pretty much might do it for the UM power play. I'd assume with the final couple seconds, they'd at least get it in deep, but they were struggling to do so there. Captain, wide angle, glove down, Hoffman.
Yeah, Miami not really getting anything really going on this power play. They really need to start establishing that. We've seen them throughout the entire season kind of have a lackluster power play. Just not really able to get any kind of goals in the back of the net. One will fall eventually, but they've got to start correcting things.
Sent in, kicked off, Hoffman, 1:20 to go in the first. Sent in, Hoffman punches it out, rebound in front, no one can get it clean. Still in, Knowles send it down, blocked off, it's Hartung. Hartung hemmed in, K-Kish gets it up. Still in for the Knowles, up and out of play, final minute to go in the first.
It was a Hail Mary kind of shot there from Alexander Jensen. Jensen is the difference maker for this team. He's a starter. He has 4 goals on the year. Now 5 because of the goal that he scored today. Just someone to keep an eye out for if you're the Hurricanes.
Back here at Kendall Ice Arena in Kendall, Florida, where the University of Miami Hurricanes and the Florida State Seminoles square off for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Game 1 of the 2-game series between the Noles and the Canes. Ryan Lee alongside Connor Stein to bring you all the action here in the second period of play and onward. And for the University of Miami, just before things, for lack of a better term, cut out to say the least, it will push UM into a shorthanded situation because Miles Hartung got a 2-minute interference penalty just before the expiration of the period. So just like what we saw in the first game, in the D2 game, Miami's going to be shorthanded going into the second period, Connor.
Yeah, just one of those silly penalties that they always seem to take in the latter part of periods. Miami will definitely have to clear this one off, or kill this one off, rather, if they'd like to keep this one within reach, because Florida State looks like they could explode.
Florida State 1 for 1 on the power play thus far. They've got another 92 seconds to go as we start the second period of play. Silliman covers up right out of the gate. And another 1:29 to go, shorthanded for Miami with 19:55 to go. And considering what we've seen between the D2 side and this side, I'm sure Coach Tomamello had some adjustments in mind, but they'll have to hold off after the draw. Wind up was Brandon Stein. He goes wide. Behind the net go the Noles. They elect to make their way up. Comes off with a stick. That was Bremer. Can't keep it in. All the way down for Miami. Final 62 on the man advantage for Florida State. Seminoles stuck in their own end as Miami try to work it out. Now Florida State are able to enter. Walsh, he's got some guys behind him. Walsh sends it around. Jensen back for Walsh. Final 33 to go on the man advantage for Florida State. Seminoles keep it in. Tries to weave through. Brandon Stein on his knees. Gets a disruption. Behind the net, Michelini and Brandon Stein try to collaborate there, but they can't get it out as Jensen keeps it in. Deflection goes wide off of the attempt from Christensen and eventually down. Nas in a foot race. Tries to go shorthanded. Nas just fights off his man. Just tries to earn possession to eat off the final. Nas
Good penalty kill there from the Canes.
and Michelini still on the ice after the shorthanded shift. They try to work it out. Now it's a chance for Nate Koo. Backhands it, intended for Rocket. Off target was the pass. Cooper Barno, junior from Tampa, circles around. Back up, got a quick tip by Richards. Down the length, icing against FSU.
Overall, good penalty kill there by the Canes. Nothing flashy, but Florida State really couldn't get anything going, like, in terms of offense at all. So kudos to the penalty killing unit.
And with just a touch over 2 minutes into this second period of play, Rocket attempts to win the draw, but the Noles do instead. Nick Slew.
They're gonna get Rocket there for a call. Excuse me, that was a Rocket. Miami is gonna head back on the penalty kill.
Hartung, actually.
I think that was Luca Fox. Yeah, Luca Fox hasn't really appeared in many games for this D3 squad this year, but he left his feet on a hit right there, and the ref saw that right away, blew it dead, and now the Canes will be forced to go back on the penalty kill.
1 for 2 are the Noles so far. That is correct, Connor. It is Luca Fox. The sophomore playing only in his third game with his D3 side for a board. As you mentioned, left his feet to take a hit, boarding at the call on Fox. To the point it goes for FSU. Cooper Barno corrals the blue line, sends it in, took a deflection. Hoffman with a save. Second one goes off of Hoffman again. Knowles into the corner, eventually try to work it loose for Andrew Bremer. Bremer works with Barno, tries to send it in, glove down by Hoffman. And this Miami penalty kill going to have to really work in overtime if they want to keep this a one-goal game.
Yeah, good work. The Knowles establishing a little bit more of that offensive presence on the power play. But Miami, once again, doing a great job penalty killing. But a tremendous save by Hoffman there on the replay that you just saw. Let's just see if they can finish this one out.
Face-off won by the Knowles, kept in by Barno. Around the boards go the Knowles. That's an attempt to be kept in by Bremer. Bremer in front, took a deflection, missed the net. Lucero tries to keep it in. 2-on-2, into the slot. Jonathan Nas up, not out. Bremer backhands into the skates. Del Duco skates it out. Cooper Barno and Jonathan Nas meet into the corner. 47 seconds remain in the Fox penalty for boarding. FSU enters, makes some changes, lets that one flutter into the corner. Brandon Stein gets it up and out. And this is going to be a penalty call against FSU for too many men.
Yeah, Florida State kind of got caught behind themselves there. Kind of similar to that thing that we saw in the D2 game. They were in the midst of a change, but in the offensive zone. I don't really agree with that change, to be honest with you. Felt a little bit unnecessary. But now Miami will head on the 4-on-4 and then have about a minute 30 of power play time.
It's going to be a 1 minute, 25 second difference between the Fox penalty and the bench minor for Florida State. 4-on-4 we skate for 33 seconds. Michelini twirls past his man. Sends it along for Jonathan Nas. Gets it past Walsh. Nas to maintain. Walsh around. Brandon Stein possesses. Slapper by Nas goes wide. Kept on by Tyler Richards after the attempt by Jonathan Nas. Final 5 seconds left to go before we have a minute 25 of Miami power play. Held in back by Michelini. Kings on the power play. Jonathan Nas shoots up the right side. He goes off the outside of the net. But Nas collects possession, tries to go to the tuck-in off of the wraparound. Can't do so. Silliman on the save, down the length.
The Hurricanes have about a minute 10 to make something happen on the power play.
In front of the Florida State bench, Michelini skates it past the red line in blue. Koo banks it around. Michelini behind the net. 51 to go in the power play for Miami. Brandon Stein through the 5-hole and out. Pass straight towards Kakish. Kakish to center. Walsh fumble the puck. That one skimmed wide. Still in front. Hoffman with a swipe. Goes in front. Hoffman with a save. Rebound. Second chance. Third chance. Puck still loose into the corner. Not sure how Hoffman kept that one out, but nonetheless he did. Quarter minute to go for the Miami power play, but Florida State works shorthanded. Jarred loose. Nate Koo, 3-on-1. Koo shoots into the glove of Matt Silliman.
Man, what a dramatic sequence there from both sides of the ice. It started on the defensive side for the Hurricanes, but Koo was able to get this puck out of harm's way, and then he had Del Duco and Skinger, but elected to just take the shot. I would have looked to pass that one off, but nevertheless, 8 seconds left to go, left in this power play.
Just under 14 and a half in period 2 as Rocket pins his man along the boards. Miami can't keep it in. Hartung off the bench, slaps it in deep. 6 minutes deep in the second. Across for the Knowles. Seminoles enter, send it around. Hartung on the chase. Around, Fox can't corral. Chance to go for Matejek. Up in the air, Koo with a glove. Back to the point, long distance try, into the glove easily by Hoffman. And Florida State continue to get their opportunities in the offensive end.
Yeah, relatively better end to that penalty kill that the Hurricanes wanted. They were able to get a shot on net, the Florida State Seminoles, but Hoffman, once again, just kind of keeping what he had in the last game, keeping his composure besides that one goal in the first period.
13:40 remains. Florida State send it down, out of play once more. And for University of Miami, they want to continue the role that they've been on. 3 games unbeaten, 1 win and 2 ties in their last 3 games, all against the USF Bulls. One of those results were here. The other 2 were in Tampa. We just saw the D2 squad go up against UT. And then another team from the western part of Florida, Florida State, come in. As this will be carried in by Christensen, smacked along the boards. Too much juice on that for Siegerman to corral. Kashikani got some support with Berman. Now they can get it free, and there goes Kashikani. Look at Kashikani, potential 3-on-2 brewing. He skates it forward. Kashikani fires into a leg. Second chance is covered up by Silliman.
Kashikani kind of went coast to coast there. He's typically a defenseman, but kind of just does everything himself. Goes blue line, goes through center ice, dukes out a defender, and then gets a shot on net, and the Seminoles are able to cover Silliman.
And Matt Silliman, he's been around the block quite a bit. The Ridgeford, Connecticut native, a senior. Won the last start that he had against the University of Florida Gators. The last time that the Seminoles were out.
How about back-to-back rivalry for the Noles?
Yeah, between the Gators and the Canes and back-to-back weekends. And the Canes have to not only see this D3 side for Florida State, but this D3 side will actually play Miami's D2 team on Sunday as well. So this will be an interesting matchup going up ahead as Florida State come up ahead. Overhead, Hoffman goes that shot into the slot. No one gets it. Cleared out by Rory Dawson. Stuck at center. Florida State goes in. Nick Slew. Slew gets it through, but 3 Canes are in the way. Brady Walsh on the point. Hits some traffic in front. That was Dawson with the kick out. Sharaburiak with Gupta. Goes off of Sharaburiak as he just tries to clip it along for Anzaldi, who will just send it towards Silliman as Miami gets some fresh legs out. 11.5 in the second period. 1-0 in favor of the Florida State University. Jensen, wide angle, the lone goal scorer, tries to weave past. Skinger cuts it off. Stuck in the corner. No one gets it free. Turnaround try. Richards tried to send it, but goes off of the body. That's Del Duco. Del Duco finishes a hit. Around for the Noles. Jensen behind the net. Jensen wound up for the Michigan, but couldn't get it to go through, and the net goes off. With Skinger continuing to get in the face of Jensen, and this will be a little bit extra as well.
Yeah, I think they took that a little bit disrespectful.
And then you have a man finishing his hit. That's Bremer, who took Gupta down afterward. And you've still got some pushing, shoving back and forth. Del Duco getting some swipes in. So Del Duco definitely got a couple of whacks. A couple of right hooks. Hard to see who that is. That looks like... Still hard to see exactly who that was.
It's going to be Skinger.
Richards.
Skinger, Del Duco got kicked off because of the punches. But Skinger is for sure going to box for, I think it's going to be 4-on-4, maybe 4-on-4 hockey, I'd assume.
You got Tyler Richards from the Noles in there as well. So we definitely have Del Duco heading down to the locker room. That we are seeing right now, Del Duco's out because those extra punches at the very end. And as we say it with me, wait to see what happens as the conference call of referees continues. Let's just see how we got here, considering this all started because Florida State wanted to go for a Michigan try.
Yeah, so it all kind of started from this Michigan try, and then Skincher, you kind of see, just initiates the contact there on that knoll. And then I don't know if we got Del Duco throwing the punches. We didn't, but that's why he got kicked out of the game. So right back where we were just not even a couple hours ago, as there's 11 minutes and 3 seconds left in the second period.
Sometimes with the way that history tends to repeat itself, can't help but sound like a broken record at times. Conference call of officials, sorting out the kerfuffle after the whistle. At least one of the two nets is going to be where most of the action is going to happen. This case, it was the Miami net. A lot of times in that first game, it was in the UTampa net.
I mean, if they keep this up, we'll be here till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
This game is already on pace to finish close to 1 o'clock Eastern time. So considering that this all started because UTampa had transportation issues, the first game of this doubleheader didn't start until 7:30 when it was initially set for 7 o'clock. This game was intended for 9:45, didn't start until 10:30 because of the delays and the extended stoppages like we see right now. And good thing tomorrow is that we start at 3 with the D2 side, and the D3 side, assuming it goes according to plan, should start around 6. But if these stoppages continue to happen, we might just have a mutual pushback of the games because of some of the workload that these two teams have had.
I don't know. That UTampa versus Miami game was very chippy this morning, or this morning.
This afternoon.
This afternoon. I would say this evening. It's 7 o'clock puck drop, but if any of that carries over, we could be in for another long night at Kendall Ice Arena. But we love to do it here on the University of Miami Hockey Network as we still await some confirmation.
So it looks like Del Duco will take the 5 for the extra right hooks, but that doesn't exactly put FSU clean, as Alex Jensen will serve 2, probably for that initial bit of contact. So we'll have 2 minutes of 4-on-4, which will follow 3 minutes worth of power play time. And the faceoff will make its way back in neutral area in front of the FSU bench. $11 minutes to go in the second. 2 minutes on the penalty for Alex Jensen. 5 minutes on the board. Del Duco takes it, and he's out of the game as well. So 2 minutes of 4-on-4 with a 3-minute power play for the Seminoles. Jonathan Nas goes across. Nate Koo's with him. Koo holds, waits. Wanted to take it, but it skimmed off his stick before he got the release off.
Koo's got to get that shot off quicker. He didn't have much pressure on him, but he waited too long.
Penalties at 8:57 in the second period.
Entering is Lucero.
Number 23, Henry Skincher, 2 minutes to rough it.
In front, no one able to get the touch on. Goes to the corner. Barno holds on, passed it off. Michelini jars it loose. Now it's a 3-on-1 for the Hurricanes. Here goes Michelini. He's got Koo with him. Too much juice for Koo as it makes its way to the corner. Michelini follows up. Koo behind the net of Silliman. Nas holds, takes, skims just wide. Side of the net. Wraparound try. Silliman with the save again. Nas gets leveled with Michelini on the recovery. Michelini behind the boards. Attempted to go around, but Chambray pokes it around. Not out. Michelini keeps it in, but not long, as it's a chance to hang on for Cooper Barno. Barno trying to get away from Koo and does so as he plays it back for Chambray. Here goes Ryan Chambray into the corner. Couldn't get the feed across. He wanted McGovern. but McGovern went stick to stick into the corner. McGovern back again as FSU makes a change. Wanted to go back to the point for Katz down the length of the ice as Katz couldn't get the reach. Final 10 seconds of 4-on-4 before we have a 3-minute major power play for the Seminoles. Quick chop there, attempt by Rocket to jar the puck loose. Florida State 0, Florida State over Miami here at Kendall Ice Arena. Game 2 of 5 for the University of Miami Hurricanes. Steps in, takes a swing, missed wide as it glanced off of a stick. Slew watches that one fly past him, and now everyone is retreating. Andrew Bremer, bank it. He's got Nick Slew. Hartung attempted to be the roadblock. He's still all over Slew. Barno. You've got Hartung, who went shoulder to shoulder with Lakis, but Lakis holds on with the final 2 minutes on the power play. Slew. There's Lucero actually, then Slew. Slew with a shot, rebound, kick by Hoffman, rebound, they score. No, they don't. No, they don't. Hoffman got the pad on the goal line. That looked like that beat Max Hoffman, but he got the split down to keep it off the goal line. It stays 1-0.
What a miraculous save there by Hoffman. Max Hoffman just providing highlight reel after highlight reel save against this Knowles offense, especially after playing a whole other game. He can't be left out to dry, though, here, especially with 1:46 left to go in this power play.
Seminoles 1 for 2 before this chance, and it's sent down with Siegerman in pursuit. He got past Chambray, but Walsh was there to tag up. Jarred loose, Berman down the length. 1:35 in the second. 1:30 now on the power play, 7:30 in the second. Seminoles at center. James McGovern, he's in, turns around, plays it along the wall. Kakish tries to get past Gupta. Jonathan Nas on possession and stay stuck at the blue line and still in. Gupta didn't get all of it. Can't clear it out. Seminoles give it a go. That hit something along the way, up and out.
Hurricanes doing a great job killing this one, especially the fact that it's 4 minutes. Seminoles, though, definitely got their quality opportunity on net onto Hoffman, but that one just ricocheted out of play. We remain a one-goal game.
51 to go on the power play. Deflection goes wide for Florida State. James McGovern. Pinch along the boards, keeps it in play. He's got Nas all over him. No one gets it loose. Kakic in the bundle. Goes across. Took a deflection. Back to the point. 30 seconds to go on the power play. That one took a tip in wide. Second chance. McGovern. He missed the net as well. Walsh. Kakic. Kakic wants to go for McGovern. Hoffman with a save. Second chance. Not available. Up and out. Final 10 seconds to go for Miami's penalty kill. And this will just about do it. They come off clean as we are essentially back to even strength.
Very impressive kill there by the Canes. Exactly what they needed to keep themselves in this game.
But they've iced the puck, and they're back in their own defensive end, hemmed in again.
Hey, you got under 6 minutes to go. Still only one-goal game. Just got to get more quality offensive chances. Really haven't been in your O-zone a whole lot.
Right now, their backs are against the wall. They haven't used that wall as a springboard to jump forward yet. It's almost like Florida State has continued to pin them behind with their backs behind. As the Noles win the draw again, Hoffman on the catch.
Ethan Katz with a hard quality shot there.
Ethan Katz, a senior from Boca Raton, one of the many Florida State players who are native to this area of the state.
Yeah, some of this is a homecoming for most of these kids. That's why there's a lot of Florida State support here tonight.
You got at least 4 to 5 guys who are from the southeast portion of Florida rather than the southwest portion of the state. But it makes its way around side of the net. Hoffman, and there's some contact on Hoffman afterward, and of course the Canes weren't happy with that. Hoffman covered up, took a shoulder to shoulder with a Knoll. And unlike the other times we've seen from Miami, that time there was contact, but nothing excessive. Just a hit from the Florida State player. That's going to be Lakis for making contact on Hoffman in the first place.
That's a little crazy to me, to be honest with you. It only seemed like a little bit of a tap, but it seems like the referees are penalizing anything they can because they want to restore order in this one. Kind of lost order after that little fiasco with Del Duco, but trying to regain order.
So it's a slashing call for Lakis. That's probably why he got some altercation afterward, because it's one thing if you touch the goal, it's another thing if you whack him with the stick. A little bit of the players policing the game a bit, but they're back on it. Koo, backhand, side of the net, rebound for Koo. No one gets it there. Jonathan Nas still loose. Nas, rebound, just goes wide. Around the boards, kept in by Michelini. The bounce doesn't go his way and out. Hoffman plays this one into the corner. Good thing there's no trapezoid. That would have been a legal touch if it was. But they don't play by those rules here. As Michelini walks in. Michelini with a try. Silliman with a punch out. Michelini again. Loose stick on the ice. In tight. Nas wanted to go short side. Rebound try from distance. Silliman off the line and in! The scramble in front allows Nate Koo to get the poke in. We're tied at 1 on the power play.
Did I just see a power play goal from the Miami Hurricanes? Hey, what do you say? Nathan Koo. You kind of see here, Skinger tries to get a quality opportunity, unable to get it going, and then the loose change right in front of Nate Koo. And the Hurricanes. Man, they needed that one real bad.
Nathan Koo, his first goal of the season for this D3 side or on the D2 side. He's played with both teams. That's his first goal with either of them. Got the helper from Castricani to give this one level at 1 aside.
That's exactly what you need, though. If you're the Miami Hurricanes, finally getting over that power play hurdle, finally probably instilling some confidence in this squad. It was only a matter of time.
Especially for Nate Koo, the freshman for Albuquerque. He was looking for his first goal of the season, has played with both the D2 and D3 squads. And for Koo, after playing a quadruple header against USF 3 weeks ago, him getting rewarded like that is exactly potentially an opportunity for them to springboard and launch more. Castricani up, out, Gupta chases, but it will be Andrew Bremer who gets there first. And with just under 4 minutes to go, icing negated, tumble on the ice. Back to center goes Florida State. Huge hit along the boards as Sam Russell gets taken down. Side of the net, Hoffman dives out, covers up.
Is he all right? I thought for a second there it looked like he got hurt, but
Could have been potentially a little bit something there. Maybe he wanted to make sure that the referees knew for sure that this play was going to die.
I don't know if you guys heard the panic in my voice, but that's your starting goaltender, and you have no backup here tonight. So Miami that would be a predicament for sure.
Especially with Jamie Brooks, who's been a solid netminder for this D3 side, not available in today's game. That try from distance, side of the net. Michelini out for Siegerman. Siegerman takes a spill, but that was on his own 2 feet. No penalty. Hoffman behind his net. 3:23 in period 2. We're tied at 1. Charlie Brandenstein walks it to center, but pivots after he saw a wall of white jerseys.
That was a good play there. He put on the brakes, looked for the correct pass, and made the pass.
Instead, they go dump in chase as Florida State will hang on. Offensive zone pressure, but still in possession of Miami with Michelini. He just sends that one towards Silliman's net. 3 minutes to go in the second. Towards center, sent in deep. Nick Slew on the slapper. Slew behind the net. Kakic in there as well. Slew takes a touch around the net. Katz steps in, tries to get past Shiraburiak. Block can't get it out, and eventually he does on the second try. Ethan Katz tries to go around. Right on the last second, Brandenstein gets out to prevent too many men. Drop pass goes for Barno. Wide angle, wanted deflection. Swing and a miss it goes, and eventually Block gets it up. Not out, kept in by Barno. Barno into the legs of Dawson. Barno back into the corner. Holds on, takes it, wide angle off of Hoffman. Second chance smothered.
Just over 2 minutes left to go in this period, but the Noles with solid offensive opportunity here. We see the Noles, Barno, one of those stand out for them, getting a solid pass across, and then Hoffman making another save to keep the Hurricanes within at the tie.
Hoffman makes the save, watches that one go past him, and we have a whistle after all of that was made.
And there's too many men on the ice.
Did UM line up with 6 off the draw? Or maybe some miscommunication they have to redo because Miami was substituting before the puck dropped?
The referees are going to confer about this one, but I imagine they'd get called for too many men, but...
So I think Shara went back to the bench, so Miami was not finished changing by the time that the refs dropped the puck. That's what Florida State's head coach Ryan Smith is complaining about. But because they were still substituting before the puck dropped, they let them finish the substitution and just redo. Side of the frame, around the boards, Nas pokes it, not out. Gupta, final 100 seconds. Brandenstein took the puck, want the man down so there's no tripping because he was on possession of the puck. Deep try, Lucero can't keep it out. Rory Dawson sends it deep.
Nas without a goal, without a glove rather.
Anzaldi keeps it in, tries to bank it around, and sent towards center. Seminoles. Entry, wide angle, Hoffman gets it out off of the attempt for Jensen for 2. Dawson into the FSU bench, final minute of play in the second, 1 aside. Whistle goes, face off, Miami zone.
This has been a great period for the Hurricanes. No goals allowed on the board. They got one back, now tied. It's basically a 0-0 ball game. And they've cleaned up the things defensively. It's looked a lot more even in the second period.
Skinger with Koo, they get it out. What a hit by Skinger. He loosens things up. Let's Koo loose. Koo for 2, scores! Nate Koo gets 2. It's 2-1 Miami.
This all happens from Skinger's terrific hit against the Seminoles. But Koo with number 2. You see Skinger knocks over the Florida State defender, and it ends up on Nathan Koo's stick. And as you said, Ryan, number 2 for Koo. What a goal. 2-1 Canes.
Considering he had no goals with D2 or D3 going into today, get 2. And for the freshman, that's a huge way to go. Now a chance, Jonathan Knox, make it 3, can't get it in. Silliman covers up with under 30 to go. Extras after with some contact from Silliman. Nothing will come of it though. But another crash the net play for Miami drives at least Silliman to hesitate a little.
Yeah, you kind of see here, Hurricanes, once again, very similar. Actually, this is the goal, rather. But no, we see in the goal, Nathan Koo just with an insane backhand and then the celly afterwards. Just absolutely sensational work from Koo to put the Canes up 1. Now, 30 seconds, and this game completely got turned on its head. I mean, Florida State was leading this one by 1, and all of a sudden, very, very, very similar to that D2 versus U Tampa game.
I was going to say, Connor, tell me if you heard this before. Miami lets that one in on the power play in the first period, get 2 in the second period. They go down 1-0 after 1, now up 2-1 after 2. Where have you heard that before?
Getting a little deja vu here in the booth.
Distance try, goes off of a stick and wide. Final 15 in the period. Stuck at center. Hartung gets it free after that was Kashikani smashes his man into the boards. Katz dumps it in, takes a spill 2, and that'll do for period number 2. What a turnaround for UM. They've done it once, now they've done it twice. Down 1 after 1, now up 1 after 2.
Yeah, this period really lit a fire under this Hurricanes squad. You can just tell the confidence is up. Everyone's skating with a little bit more oomph, I would say. Just a little bit more confidence in their stride.
After dark, 2-1 after 2. Back with the third when we return.
Hello everyone and welcome back in to Kendall Ice Arena here in Kendall, Florida as the University of Miami Hurricanes are taking on the Florida State Seminoles. I'm joined here with Miles Hartung. Now Miles, what a period. Now what do you think that the Hurricanes can do to kind of clean up the penalties, some silly penalties done in that second period? What can they do to clean it up?
I got to keep my elbows in, but I think all around we just got to be smarter, more zone time, offensive zone time, and definitely a big improvement that period. So hopefully we can keep it up in the third.
Yeah, what adjustments do you think were made at the end of the first period to really light that fire under your team? What did Coach Tom really say to you guys?
He just said that they wanted it more that period, and that was true, and we all agreed with him. And we just decided this period we're gonna show them what we got. So we got one more period to show them.
Now, how do you look to put this momentum into this third period with all the momentum that you guys gained in the second?
Minimal turnovers, keep the zone time, shots on net, put a few more in, and get out of here by 1 a.m.
Thank you so much, Miles. That'll do it for this intermission interview
I'm Connor Stein with Miles Hartung. Don't miss the third period. You won't want to miss it.
Back here at Kendall Ice Arena, third and final period between the Florida State Seminoles and the University of Miami Hurricanes. The Noles were up after the first period of play. With 1 period to go, it's almost like the same script was just copied and pasted. Now Miami's gonna hold on in the third and final, Connor.
Yeah, we were talking about the individual performances of both of these two, of Miami's roster, I guess you could say. Nathan Koo has 2 goals. And in the previous last couple games, Owen Gupta had a hat trick. This is like when Miami's team is at their best, they have like these little contributors that are kind of firing when they want to. When hockey is obviously a team sport, but when you have one guy that's feeling himself and always hitting the back of the net, the good things will always happen.
Especially because it kind of ripple effects to the rest of the bench. Now, here goes Koo again. He's got 2, looking for 3. Can't do so as his Florida State back at center. Wiggles it through. This one's McGovern. Wide angle, wide of the net. Stuck along the boards. No one can get it free as it's a couple of Noles and a couple of Canes. Side of the net it goes with McGovern. Wraps it around. Behind the net of Hoffman. Can't tuck it in as Michelini jars it loose. Michelini up, not out. Stuck with his man Jensen. Kept in by Lucero. Tries to go around, but back on it is Jensen. Brandenstein, an effort to get it out. No one can. Makes its way across. Nate Koo holds on, up, not out. Second chance is out from Michelini. Tries to springboard Jonathan Nas, but he makes his way behind the net of Silliman. Nas around, outside of the frame. Loose puck in front, into the slot, to the corner. As there were just a flurry of sticks, no one could get it clean. Kashikani from distance, swallowed up by Matt Silliman.
That's where Kashikani's the most dangerous. He's always at the blue line, always taking those shots that look like they don't really turn out to be anything, but they always end up surprising the goaltender in one way or another.
Especially considering he just came off of a very similar script in the D2 game that concluded just before this one. So maybe some of the mentality is still fresh in his mind as Hartung tries to keep it in. Fox couldn't corral. Bank it off the glass. Can't keep it out as Nas pokes it up. Siegerman with Hartung. That's Rocket with Hartung. They try to play catch in the corner. Captain Michelini takes a stick out of play. But so far in the first 100 seconds of the third period, it's very different from what we saw in the first couple minutes of the first and second. You kept making note Florida State was in the Miami end. This time it's reversed.
Yeah, no, it just seems like the fire's been lit under this squad. It's just a whole different look.
You talked about how that one guy can create that ripple effect. How's that been taking place?
Yeah, with Del Dugo getting thrown out of the game, you were mentioning that maybe that got a little fire.
Now it's a chance. Florida State blocked aside by Michelini. That's Kashikani rather, but a swing and a miss for Kashikani. Florida State keep it in. Across, scores! Florida State have tied the game. A turnover in the defensive end allows the Noles to convert. It's 2-a-side.
We were just talking about how good the Miami Hurricanes looked. And all of a sudden, it's tied at 2 with 18:04 left to go. Cassie in this replay, great breakout by the Noles. This kind of looks like it wasn't really going to be anything as the Hurricanes look to get out of the zone, but then they kind of get caught behind the play. And Chambray kind of puts it over the shoulder of Hoffman, and just like that, it's tied game.
Ryan Chambray, his 4th goal of the season. That's a career high, only getting 3 a year ago.
Well, now if you're Miami, it's a whole different mindset, right? You're not up a goal anymore. You got to look to get your offensive chances up.
Noles want to double down. They're still in the Miami end. Stuck in the UM side. Around it goes. They can't get it out. Shara Buryak with a bank. The assists from Brady Walsh and from Andrew Bremer. A chance to poke it up at center is Florida State, but they cannot do so. So it makes his way back for Brady Walsh, one of the 2 guys on the assist of the Chambray equalizer. Shara Buryak back on his own side, no icing. Michelini can't get it out. Side of the net, Hoffman has to smother. Loose puck in front. Hoffman had the initial cover, but couldn't do so on the second try as Florida State got it loose. Shara Buryak with block. Around to keep it in is Matejek. Matejek flubs on the shot. Out it goes off of the block from Skinger. Skinger collects, up, out. Nathan Koo gets it loose. Now he's got a chance. Can he get the hat trick? Nathan Koo! Backhanded, was kicked away by Silliman, but Koo's back on it behind Silliman's net.
That's not as hard as a shot as he wanted.
But Florida State recollect on their own side. So Walsh and Bremer assist on the equalizing goal by Ryan Chambray. He had 3 goals in 20 games a season ago. Now he's got a career high 4 goals in only 7 games in this season for the senior defenseman from Fort Myers. Can't keep it in is Brandon Stein, so it comes back to center for Anzaldi. Michelini evades a hit. Continues to pinch along the boards. Slap from deep, Brandon Stein alone. Anzaldi can't keep it in. Florida State reverse with Cooper Barno. Barno deep, Hoffman save, Brandon Stein collects. Nathan Koo overskates, just sends it in an area where one of his teammates can get it. Anzaldi could not win that race. But past 5 minutes in the 3rd period of play, level at 2-a-side. Braxton Lucero. Lucero skates it ahead. He's on the wide angle. Tries to go, gobbled up by Hoffman.
Yeah, Becerro tried to take this one coast to coast. As we saw, he kind of goes around near side. Just wasn't able to get a good quality shot off. And it remains 2-2.
Just a touch over 5 minutes into this 3rd period as it is Lucero to dump it in deep. Taken away by Christensen, side of the net. No one able to poke it in. Hoffman couldn't find it. Second chance off the side of the net. Hoffman stays strong along the post, eventually gets the glove out to cover.
Yeah, I think that net came off as well. Danger averted for the Hurricanes.
Especially considering that in the FSU, the USSF series, pardon, a couple of weeks ago, they almost had a 4-goal lead. And then in the second game against USF, they were able to come back from a deficit. So we've seen both sides as that one couldn't get through as Hoffman was sprawling but missed the net entirely. Huge hit goes as that's going to be a little too much contact. Arm is up on the official. Penalty against University of Miami. That's Kashikani on the contact.
That was kind of one of those bang-bang kind of plays where the contact kind of looked not as great, so the ref called it. And now it's going to be a penalty kill for the Hurricanes. Very crucial that they kill this one off. Elbowing will be the call.
Kashikani in the box.
Yeah, it looks like they got... When we talked to Miles Hartung at the intermission, he said keeping your elbows low is very important in this league. And a victim to elbowing falls. So now it'll be a Florida State power play.
Florida State 1 for 3 so far today. Their 3 power play goals going into the day was the least in Division III of College Hockey South. Skims towards center, now's a chance. Jonathan Nas alone, poked out by Silliman.
That one got a little bit too out in front of him.
Slip down, across it goes. Corralling is Bremer. Bremer. Back for Barno. Returns for Bremer. Gupta staring at Bremer as he continues to stick handle. Back to the point goes Barno. Winds up, takes a deflection wide. Nas reverses towards the Seminoles' end. Koo and Nas were offside as they went back and forth. But good news for Miami. They have a little bit of breathing room away from Hoffman's net.
Man, to go back to that chance by Jonathan Nas, though, I mean, he wants that one back so bad. He just pushed that puck a little bit too far ahead of him, and the goaltender of Florida State, Silliman, poked it away.
Face-off won by the Noles. It's an opportunity to come up ahead. It's Tyler Richards. Richards to center. Richards just got it wide. Off of the shot from Jensen. On the feet from Richards. Across, attempted for Jensen again. Kept in play by Chambray. Scored the 2-2 equalizer, but it's a chance for Florida State again. In tight, Hoffman swung the stick out. Jensen recovers in the corner. 52 to go on the power play for Miami. As they try to dump it out shorthanded, Jonathan Nas has got Nate Koo with him. Nas shoots it in as Silliman will easily hang on with 42 remaining in the Castricani penalty. 12:45 in period 3.
Nas has done a great job offensively this power play. He's done a great job getting pressure in the defensive end of the Noles and making shots on net happen. One of them's going to fall eventually.
Jonathan Nas was out for an injury, missed 7 games. He's back in the lineup tonight as he's been so strong since his return to the roster as Michelini gets the block, makes his way to the corner in the final half a minute on the Seminoles power play. Fed across for Florida State, up top again for Brady Walsh. Walsh goes back and forth. He's got Richards. Richards can't corral. Final quarter minute. Took a deflection off of the stick of Siegerman. Siegerman and Skinger, so strong defensively. This time it's Skinger. Coming out of the box is Kashikani. Florida State hemmed in Miami. Back to even strength, 5 aside. Attempted feed across, couldn't hit Barno. It hit him on the backhand, so he couldn't get the shot off clean. Took a deflection, so it's going to be Miami's possession. Michelini takes it to center. Michelini, he's got a man of support. That is going to be Hartung.
Ooh.
Luca Fox smacked down on the boards.
They're going to get the Seminoles there for, I think that was number 11, Jensen. They're going to get Jensen for maybe a hit up high. We might have caught it in our replay. Let's check it out. You kind of see the hit there as Michelini was going hard into the glass, and now the Hurricanes with an opportunity of their own.
1 for 3 are the Canes. Interference against Ryan Jensen. Freshman making what you could chalk up as maybe rookie mishaps, but nonetheless, Miami are on the power play. Nate Koo on this top line, potentially going for the hat trick. And not and more importantly, the potential to go ahead as we're tied at 2, 11.5 in the third. Captain Michelini, not long as it's out. Hoffman for Brandon Stein.
Florida State University.
25 seconds gone already as Henry Skinger enters. Skinger takes a shot into the glove of Silliman.
That was not a bad shot by Skinger. Good shot selection.
And especially with this power play unit, it looks like they're subbing everyone off except for that forward trio of Siegerman, Skinger, and Koo. They've caused havoc. That's Nas, Skinger, and Koo, rather. They've been undoubtedly the most dangerous trio on the ice for either side. As it goes for Owen Gupta. Wrap around. Nas tries to go upstairs, but too much so. Final minute and a quarter in the third period. Final 1:10 on the power play for Miami. 10:42 in the third period of play. We're at Hockey After Dark as we're well past midnight as we continue on. Kashikani slaps it around so it can be chased by Nas. Jonathan Nas in front, rocket kicked away by Silliman. Rebound across the goal line and out. How did that stay out? That should have been 3-2, but Kashikani has to race back in pursuit. Couldn't get it through. Nick Slew hits the outside of the net as it's back for Miami with 33 to go on the power play. Nate Koo, he's been feeling himself. He's got 2. He has to turn around so he can hit Nas. Jonathan Nas. Kashikani takes the shot into the chest of Silliman. And that last opportunity.
As Jonathan Noss once again with the heads up pass. He found Rocket. Rocket took two opportunities right in front of the net. One that went just over the goal line, and it somehow stayed out.
10 seconds to go on the kill for the Knowles. Jonathan Nas keeps it in for Kashikani. Across, he's got Gupta. Sends it in deep. This will do it for the power play for but it'll be sent down. This time, it should be enough for icing. No, because Hoffman will touch it first. Hoffman on the flub, has to chase after it because he's got a man, Jensen, behind him. Eventually, Kashikani covers up. Back to the point. Releasing, Jensen couldn't get it through. Rocket for Kashikani. Couldn't slip past his man, so it comes back towards center, where it's going to be Alex Jensen taking over. Jensen on the backhand, wanted to drive the net, but got bodied off by Berman. Brandon Stein with him. And eventually Hoffman comes out. Loose puck eventually comes out. Fox, the roadblock. Fox tries to go for Berman, but he's tangled. A chance for FSU. Can't go through. Into the corner as it's held on by the Knowles. Kept in, long try, wide the net. Chris Michelini attempted to get that one out of the end, but it's Brandon Stein instead after the follow through. So it's Berman, wanted to drop it off for block, but can't do so. Now it's a chance on the attack. Rustenberger, wide angle, kicked off by Hoffman. Out of the zone on the clearance from Miami, too slow for icing. 8:08 in the third. Miami Hurricanes unbeaten in their last 3. Florida State Seminoles have won their last 3. Florida State comes in, poked aside, can't get it loose. Michelini the roadblock, but still alive for the Knowles. That one was sent in by Rustenberger. Michelini has got Shara Buryak. Shara Buryak couldn't get it out. It's up in the air off the poke from Dawson. Completing the check was blocked. Now it's a chance in the center for Kakic. Kakic, wide angle, backhanded, wanted the tip in front, but couldn't hit Rustenberger. Rustenberger looking for his first point in his first year in College Hockey South. Long distance try off of a leg, out towards center. Miami with a change. FSU with an entry. Chambray around, but Brandon Stein's there instead. Kept in by the Noles. Held on. Wide angle. A flub opportunity for FSU, and now it's a chance for UM to counter. Nathan Koo. From distance, wide of the net. Has a recovery with him with Anzaldi. Skinger off of the mask of Silliman and out.
Good quality opportunity there for Skinger. Koo and Skinger kind of went in the battle there, but Skinger was able to get out of this scrum with the puck and kind of just took a circle, and that one went off the mask of Silliman. A great opportunity there for the Canes.
But if you are the University of Miami Hurricanes, this is probably the trio you want on the ice. You've got a big body in Azaldi with a hot-handed Koo, and then another one as well with Skinger, who has just been a grinder this whole game through. Skinger with a poke check, a chance to transition. Sends it in deep, glove down. FSU possesses. Bank it, off a toe. Owen Gupta sends it deep. Cooper Barno takes it back from his defense partner as he makes his way around, goes for Charlie Lakis. Lakis weaves in, gets through. Barrage sticks in the way, no one can get it through. Koo tries to do just that, but cannot do so, so Michael Nas has to chase back as FSU gets some fresh legs out with just under 6 to go in the third. Owen Gupta sends it in deep as he approaches the red line. Miami will get some fresh legs as well. In deep, couldn't corral Russenberger. Across the feed for Jensen, but he's cut off by Michelini. Turned over by FSU. They keep it in the end. Russenberger can't complete the pass, so it will be up and out towards Nas. Did it take a touch? No, it did not. This will be icing.
Just about 5 minutes left to go in this one. If you're Miami, you don't want to make any stupid decisions like penalties or stretch passes that won't work out. Just got to play good, clean hockey for the next 5 minutes and hope something goes your way.
5 1/4 in period number 3 with a game tied at 2. Face-off won by Florida State. They work it around the wall. Michelini tries to get his man off. That's Jensen. In front, couldn't hit Russenberger, and it's a chance for Jonathan Nas to get it out, and he does. Nas attempted a self-bank pass, but that was unsuccessful. Now it's a 2-on-2 for the Noles. Centering chance, kicked away by Hoffman. Broken stick by a Florida State player. That appeared to be Chambray who snapped the twig. Now Jonathan Nas, he tried to make something work. Off of Nas. Swatted down by Rocket. Pinballs back and forth. Hand pass will halt things with 4.5 in regulation.
We could be looking at an overtime period here with 4:30 left to go. This Hurricanes team is definitely not used to overtime, as you stated that their last 2 of 3 games have been ties. So
I'm sure 3-on-3 is something that this D3 squad is so familiar with.
that's just a sad sight with the broken twig. Ah, man.
He was wide open on that try too. That probably was a go-ahead had that stayed intact. But tough break for one team is a lucky break for another. As Rocket gets the draw, Nas away for Hartung. Fox and Rocket into the corner. Brandon Stein corrals. He's got Gupta with him. Gupta falls, goes around. Jonathan Nas. He has a man in center. It's Fox. Pops up in the air. No one able to collect. Eventually, Florida State get it, but it's held in. A chance here for Rocket. In tight. Couldn't get the shot through. 4 to go in the third. Fox. Loose puck along the wall. Wind up, Brandon Stein off the outside of the net. Nas holds on, wide angle, attempted to get the rebound. Rocket with a shot. He gets kicked away by Silliman. Fox cleared up, in, still. Brandon Stein with the glove. However, not for long as Russenberger plays it towards center, dumps it down so Florida State can get some bodies on. Miami will change as well. Owen Gupta's had a long has a long shift. He's due for a substitution. That'll spring something ahead for Berman, but he lost control. Smackdown from Lakis. Gupta disrupts the path for Lakis. Makes it back to the point. That's swung through by Walsh. Took a stick out of play. 3 flat in the third.
That went off one of the speakers here in Kendall Ice Arena. It's just dangling above the center, above that circle. That's got to be dangerous, but nevertheless, 3 minutes left to go in this third period.
Another opportunity goes out of play. Florida State, they've only gone to overtime once in this season. That was in their second game of the season against the D2 side of Georgia's Institute of Technology, GIT's D2 squad. That was a 3-3 draw back on September 7th. So Florida State, overtime has not necessarily been something they're familiar with. With Miami, they've gone there twice in the last 3 games. Skinger tries to go across, but Koo was a mile offside.
They're going to want that one back real bad. They had a 3-on-2 opportunity going into the zone. Now it'll be a neutral zone draw. 2:47 left to go.
Both these two sides come back here 5:45 p.m. tomorrow. Then there's a 2-game homestand here against Embry-Riddle. That'll be the last weekend series of 2024 for D3. Stuck in the slot. No one gets it free. Still loose. Pops up in the air. Swing goes off the broken stick and out. Sent in deep. Glove down by Hoffman. 2:25, third period. And with
Crunch time here.
And with every single shift, every single action just becomes that much more important, especially with Florida State. They have the second fewest losses in the third division. Only South Carolina Gamecocks have more. I'm sure they wouldn't want to get another one into the L column, whether that be in regulation or OT. As Michelini tries to evade the hit and does so with a dump out. However, FSU keep it in. Michelini pinches his man on the boards. Gupta is with him. Up, out, a chance for Luka Fox. He springs ahead. Fox, one stick move too many. Final 2 minutes of the game. Gets past Fox. Around it goes for Lucero. Lucero wants to go deep. He's got a man Russenberger, but he was cut off by Michelini. Through the 5-hole of Michelini. Brandon Stein has to cover. 2-on-1 for the Canes. Across. Couldn't get the touch on McGovern. Backhanded, smothered by Hoffman. And that was some defensive play from Brandon Stein to prevent the go-ahead.
Yeah, geez, we see this kind of develop in the neutral zone off a turnover for the Canes. All of a sudden, the Knowles have it. And they get a great A opportunity right in front of Hoffman. But Hoffman stands tall. And Florida State will take a timeout.
Especially with just under 90 seconds to go, they know that they have an offensive zone face-off. What can they create off of the timeout break? 1:28 to go in the third period in a 2-2 game. A power play goal by Alex Jensen started things off on the power play unassisted 4 minutes into the game. Then in the second period, 2 goals in the final 5 minutes from Nathan Koo, 1 on the power play, 1 in 5-on-5, allowed UM to take the 2-1 lead after the second period. And then, only 2 minutes into the third period, Ryan Chambray with helpers from Walsh and Bremer tied things up at 2. It's where we are now. No goals have come since the minute 56 mark of the third period. An opportunity for either side to claim a second point without the consolation one aside. An opportunity for Florida State to potentially get the second point, leaving Miami with none. However, I'm sure they just want to survive when all things are said and done. With 88 seconds left to go in regulation, Hoffman stands tall, face off to his right. Won by the Noles, back to the point, Walsh keeps it in. Bremer around, slapped up, and Koo gets it out. However, kept in off of the Seminole, and that's going to go down. This is most likely icing against Miami.
1:09 left to go, third period. Miami's really got to do a good job cleanly winning this one back to prevent any offensive opportunity for the Noles, especially with only a minute left to go. Dangerous opportunity here for the Noles.
Skinger takes the draw off the boards. Here goes Michael Nas. Michael Nas gets leveled. May have taken a slash, no call. Behind the net in the final minute of play. 2 aside in the third. Around it goes. Chambray tips it aside. Wide angle. Chambray couldn't get the tip in. And the net comes off. As Chambray sold out for the deflection, couldn't get it in. Chambray and Lakis amongst the ruckus in Hoffman's crease. And nonetheless, stoppage goes. 49 seconds remain. And this will be back to center ice because FSU jarred the net loose.
Hey, that's good news for the Hurricanes. 48 seconds left to go, and you get a neutral zone face-off. It's better than it being in your own zone. And FSU, I think there's going to be another timeout here. Yeah, Miami's going to take a timeout. Coach, good.
So Tom Mello wants to have some discussions. I'm not sure if this is something offensive or maybe how to hang on defensively. But regardless, just a touch over 45 to go, and the conference call goes for Tom Mello.
I mean, Coach Tom's got all of his top defenders and forwards out there. I mean, I would expect an offensive push. You got Michelini, you got Nos, 2 veterans, then you got Skinger and Kastrikani, who played back-to-back games, and then also Nathan Koo, the multi-goal scorer tonight. So I think he's looking to make a push with 48 seconds left to go.
Plus a breather for those 5 guys who had that extra long shift because they were defending all that time.
Yeah. No, also, that's also good. Didn't see his board come out, so I don't think they have any kind of particular strategy. It's probably just put the puck down, make a smart decision, don't cause any turnovers, and good things will happen.
48.7 in a 2-2 game, third period. 45 seconds left to go, dumped in by Alex Jensen. Scored the opening goal. Michelini swats it around. Nate Koo on the near side. Koo, up, out. Attempted push by Chambray. He eventually gets it down. 30 seconds left to go. Michelini pivots, slides it through, but not out. Now Michelini, he gets a second bite at the apple. He'll just take his time. Go for Koo, near side. Can't clear, however, with Richards in the way. Now is a chance for Nate Koo. Final 5 seconds of the game. One last chance. Skinger can't get it to go, and we are going to overtime.
My question now for this Miami Hurricanes roster: can you finish this game? Can you take the win? Because they've tied their last lots of puck. It is after dark here at Kendall Ice Arena.
5 minutes takes us right on the dot of 1 in the morning. We are well into Hockey After Dark here in Kendall Ice Arena. All started with Tampa delayed on transportation. Several kerfuffles and shuffles and skirmishes along the way, delaying play against Tampa. Also held off puck drop here against FSU. Now it's a chance for 3-on-3 OT. And with 3-on-3 OT for 5 minutes, who knows how things will go, as Silliman and Hoffman have both been stellar.
Yeah, no, definitely. Both of these goaltenders have stood their own ever since around the latter part of that second period. They both kind of stood up for themselves, and now it'll be up to the team's offenses to try to secure a game-winning goal. And the teams will switch sides here for the overtime. Just think of it as a new period, you could say. Just 3-on-3 hockey.
Only one overtime taken by Florida State. 2 for Miami. All 3 power plays between the two sides have resulted in draws. No one has taken the advantage for either side on the power play, OT losses or wins. Miami will roll with Kashikani, Nas, and Michelini. And Florida State win the draw.
Is an overcommitment from Chris Michelini. If he overcommits and the Seminoles find that puck, there's going to be a one-on-one opportunity.
Seminoles are back on it after the draw. This is taken across by Braxton Lucero. The bank pass is taken, it sends across, but it's going to be poked aside by Kashikani. He tries to spring Nas up ahead. Nas is in pursuit with Lucero. Lucero tangled with Nas behind the net, kept in by Michelini. Michelini, first minute burned off. Kashikani up top. Over skates, takes, kicked away by Silliman. Michelini on the recovery. Michelini in tight, Silliman with a poke out. Scramble at the side of the net, cleared, not out. Kashikani keeps it in. Kashikani gets past one, couldn't corral into the corner. In front, Michelini takes a huge hit on the side of the net. Silliman is down, as is Michelini. Play will stop after Michelini collided into Silliman, but friendly fire for some Florida State Seminoles, and this will hold things off. 3:33 to go in OT.
One of the differences we've seen from the first and I guess this overtime period, if that happened in the first or second period, everyone would be on top of Michelini. But there you see both teams respectively going to their benches, and Miami makes the line change. We hope that the FSU goaltender is all right.
Adjusts the mask back on his head with a stick loose as well. Jensen, McGovern, and Barno for the Noles. Koo alongside Fox and Brandenstein for the Canes. Face-off taken by Florida State. Rocket tries to chase in, cannot do so. So it's played back in the defensive end. Florida State slow to get across with Barno entering the zone.
The pass.
Barno across, flub chance, Hoffman with a dive, second chance off of the line, side of the net, poked in, side of the net, Hoffman lays down, and that will do it in this possession as Hoffman had to scramble to get back in and keeps this game tied.
Just a poor offensive showing there from the Miami Hurricanes. As we'll see here, look at number 11. Wide open, all 3 green jerseys on the right side of the barn, and I mean, that's just a lack of experience in 3-on-3 play. But crisis is averted here at Kendall Ice Arena.
3-on-3, 3:05 to go. Miami zone held off by Barno. He holds on at the blue line, took a deflection off of Skinger. Back to the point. Held on by Jensen. Jensen goes wide, wraparound try. Holds on, however. Florida State still on it. Attempting to go in tight, saved by Hoffman. 2:42, 2 aside.
Jensen has been the difference maker in this 3-on-3 offensive possession for the Noles. You got to see him dancing around, kind of looking for any kind of opportunity to take a nice clean shot, and then he gets one off. But once again, Hoffman standing there nice and tall.
Hoffman wants to make it 2 wins in the same day. Skinger wins the face-off around for Gupta. They've got Jonathan Nas as well. That puck just gets played at center ice, so it will be a foot race. Skinger overcommits. Now it's a 2-on-1 for the Noles. Here goes Chambray. He holds. Back to the point. Barno waits, takes wide of the net. Now it's a chance for Owen Gupta with some space. He wanted to go center for Nas. Now it's a turnover. It's an opportunity here for Richards. Couldn't get the shot off on frame as it makes its way to the corner with 2 minutes to go in overtime. Chambray, Barno backs up with Gupta, just giving him a couple hacks and whacks.
Great job by Gupta. Just under 2 minutes to go.
Attempted turnover there. Now it's going to be a wide open lane for Jensen. But Hoffman out of his net. It's a fumble behind the net. Jensen and Hoffman tangle up, and eventually it's cleared out by Henry Skinger. Capped into the point. Knowles in tight. Hoffman with a save. Towards the corner. Back towards the point. Barno collects. Just under 90 to go in overtime. Across. Attempted. Held on. Walsh. Walsh in tight, and it's a turnover. Owen Gupta, full head of steam. Gupta blocked off by Walsh. Gupta has had a long shift. He's dog tired. Now Jensen drops off across. Jensen, McGovern, backhands, saved by Hoffman. What a save by Max Hoffman. Final minute to go in overtime. Jonathan Nas, he turns on the engine. Jonathan Nas turns the legs, takes a shot, stick on stick out of play, 51.6 in the OT.
Just more of those examples that I was talking about. When you overcommit defensively, you get caught lacking in the offensive zone. And all of a sudden, I mean, a couple shifts there, we see Hoffman just getting left out to dry on 2-on-1s and 2-on-0s. But somehow the Canes keep it tied.
This is very interesting. Charlie Brandenstein with Michelini and Kashikani. A trio of defensemen out there. Michelini for Kashikani. Winds up, stick on stick again, out of play.
Maybe Coach Tom heard me when I was saying that defense has been a little lackluster on this 3-on-3.
But with 45 seconds left to go.
To be fair, all three of these guys can play on the offensive side of the puck.
Face-off won by the defenseman Brandon Stein. He gets pinned along the boards. Michelini steps in. But it's loose from Chambray. Chambray towards center. Overcommitment by Kashikani. A chance for the Noles. Wanted to spinorama pass, but couldn't go for Richards in the final 23 seconds. Kashikani tried to hit Brandon Stein. Now that time it's a turnover. Brandon Stein steps in. Brandon Stein in tight. Wanted to go backhand, but missed. Final 10 seconds left to go. Kashikani into the UM bench. And 5.6 remains in overtime. And unless UM can whip something up, we're most likely going to end with back-to-back draws for the Canes. The question is, where's this draw going to be? Because if it's in the offensive zone, there's a chance. If it's in center, might as well take your point aside and go home.
Yeah, it looks like the players are trying to communicate where they want to go, how they want to set this up, because you only have 5.6 left on the clock.
Kashikani wins the draw through the 5-hole of Brandon Stein. They just have to jar it loose to get the 1 point aside, and that's what we'll do. We're even at 2 aside after OT. That's how we'll stay. Back-to-back draws for UM. 3 ties in their last 4 for UM, but the one positive you can say for the Canes, they are unbeaten in 4 straight. So they've at least strung points together.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just a good back and forth matchup. Both of these teams wanted it equally, I would say. Just couldn't get it done in overtime.
That'll pretty much do it for us and our entire University of Miami Hockey Network team. for all of us here in Kendall Ice Arena in our hockey broadcast crew and Connor Stein, my name is Ryan Lee. We end Game 2 of our Friday doubleheader. We'll be back here tomorrow for a Saturday doubleheader starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, where the D2 squads of Miami and Tampa will square off once more. A win for UMD2, a draw for UMD3. That'll do it for us here in Kendall. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.